Hope you guys are doing well. I know I haven't made a video for you in a while, and I just wanted to come back with just a little bit of an update and a little bit of a tip that I discovered on what works for me in increasing my job success score. Now, early October, I would say October 1st and on up until now, my score had dropped all the way down to 92%. And it had dropped down to 92% for a couple of reasons. Primarily was working with clients who were completely hostile and that didn't want me to do extra work that we didn't discuss initially within the project and that wasn't in the proposal that I had sent to them. So this is something that's called scope creep, where clients start pushing little projects in, trying to get you to do extra work at no additional cost, right? Like for example, a client wanted me to set up their organic profiles, get some content made, and then in the middle of the project, they said, "Hey, we need you to set up a paid ads campaign for us too." They're like, "We're already paying you to do this. Can you just include that?" I was like, "Hey, I can't. Like, that's a totally separate thing that includes different research for your niche." So they abruptly ended the project, and I was given a pretty bad review. I think it was like 2 or 3 stars, and that affected my success score because they gave me negative private feedback as well. But hey, things happen. I have a strict rule book that I stick to unless, clients agree to different rates and stuff like that during the project, then, it's really depends on the situation. Every situation's different. I've also had a client that booked for a consultation with me that had to cancel. I was waiting for them for about 20 minutes on the call, they booked for 30 minutes, and I was waiting for them to get on the call for 20 of those minutes after I sent them multiple messages, and they didn't get on till the last minute. I had already gotten off, and they left me a bad review for not being on the call, which I don't know how Upwork didn't, uh, protect me on that instance because they even say when it's a no call, no show, your score shouldn't get affected. So I don't know. I've already emailed Upwork a couple times about that, and I still haven't gotten a response. So that's just pretty much what's been happening. And that has nothing to do with quality of service or anything like that. I don't even have 1 star review, anything about not being able to back up what I'm able to do on, right? So out of 166 projects, I've only had maybe 3 or 4 2 to 3 star reviews, nothing less than that. I think I'm doing pretty okay. So just that this job success score, no matter the 5 star reviews that I was getting every so often, it wasn't going up. So I think it does in like time intervals, like every 30, 60, or 90 days, like projects that don't count towards your score fall off, and then the new batch of projects you have do count. I think that's what's going on. But I just mainly started focusing on these. Look, I just started focusing on consultations, like trying my best to get really good consultations. Like this one, like this was a client from a construction company that they wanted to do a full audit, like, and have a whole strategy pretty much for their audit set up. But after we went through the profiles and stuff together, we realized they didn't really need an audit, that I just told them everything they needed to do just from our 1 hour call, which was totally fine. Things happen. I don't feel good selling clients a service that they don't need just because I want to take their money. That's not how I roll. Like I believe in karma a lot. Like, I don't believe in doing anything predatory to clients too, because that karma comes back to you. And it surely did. After I got this review, I started getting a bunch of new leads and inquiries for services on Upwork, which was really nice to see. So, as you can see, like just having something like this, like I really appreciated the honesty in his downselling once he realized we didn't need that much help. Like stuff like that, other clients love to see that stuff because it builds just even more trust. So I got a couple good star reviews on this, and then literally, I think it was the 22nd of October, 22nd or 23rd, right after when my score refreshed, I was at a 96%. I was able to get it back to 96% up until that point. Then literally the next day after October 21st, I woke up middle of the night, grab a glass of water, and then my score popped up to 100%, and I was like kind of tripping out. I was like, "Whoa, like this is crazy." I haven't, I had no idea like this was gonna happen like that soon. I thought I was gonna do like the 96, 97, 98, 99, and then I was gonna have to fight for a couple more projects to get 100%, but I guess that wasn't the case. Um, what I also think happened is I do have a few projects here that are in progress that just reached their 90-day mark. So when a project reaches the 90-day mark on Upwork that's open and you're still recurring running revenue or income through those projects, Upwork weighs those projects heavier than if it was just like a $20, $40, project or consultation. They're weighed a lot more. So they're worth like three projects. So just, and that means that they're successful projects. Anything over 90 days is considered a success, no matter what star rating that you get on your profile. So that's also a good thing. So I think a combination of the consultations and having long-term clients really helped me get my score up. So what I recommend for you guys, if you guys are struggling with raising your job success score, is to really try to book a lot of consultations and then try to have projects on your profile that aren't closed out. Just keep them open. Just keep them open and just tell clients like, hey, is it okay if we can keep the contract open? That way, if later down the line you need additional help, you can just ask me and then I can mark time that way. You know, but have a mix of getting paid project based so you can get reviews and then have a mix of hourly. That way you can get those 90-day contracts that significantly improve your score rating. They also add to that percentage of your client relationship score. Like, I think mine just went up to like 7% of clients stick around with me or something like that long term. So something like that. Like, that's really all you got to do to raise your score. And what I did too is I lowered my rates down. I lowered it down so that it's approachable from a lot of people, but also not too low where I'm getting nasty quality clients that are literally penny pinching every dollar. So what worked for me was lowering my rate down to like 30, $32, $33. $33 was literally the sweet spot for me. And from there, I was able to rebuild, and then I raised it up to $40 an hour. And then I got a really good client for $40 an hour for 20 hours a week. And that went for, I believe, 3 weeks. And project was done. And then from there, I just raised it up to $50 an hour. And today, like literally today, I got a client who's building an application that wants to increase their social media and do some paid ads and stuff like that all over. And he offered me, he's like, hey, I'll pay you $20 an hour or 20 hours a week for $50 an hour at your profile rate. I was like, cool, let's do it. Let's get started today. He sent me the project. I approved the project. We got on a call, and then now we're off to the races now with that client. So pretty damn cool on what happened in a month. And this is just exactly why I haven't been making videos. I've just been so focused on just optimizing my Upwork profile, getting my business together. The government shutdown did affect a little bit of my business. I did have clients that are in Washington, D.C. and Baltimore, Maryland, and that whole area, um, like right on the border of Washington, D.C. and Maryland. I had some really good clients there that had to shut down. They were restaurants, they were gymnasiums, other service-based business that relied on like government projects and stuff. Like the restaurant relied on food orders and catering orders from like the government offices and things like that there in DC. And they weren't getting any of that. They weren't getting any of the foot traffic from people that work in the government buildings. So their business like took a hit by like 40%. So they had to cut down like on marketing and stuff like that. And then the other client I had was a gymnasium client, and same thing happened to them. They weren't getting any foot traffic. People were canceling their memberships because they needed to save money from being laid off and stuff like that, right? So pretty crazy. So I had to pivot pretty quick too and rebuild my baseline for income on Upwork and off of Upwork too, because I have some clients off of Upwork that I got through like Google and cold calling and LinkedIn and stuff like that. So um yeah, guys, I hope everyone's doing well. Leave a comment. Hope you guys can leave a like, subscribe if you haven't. And let me know if there's something you guys want me to cover. I look forward to making more videos for you guys soon. All right. Peace.